Okay, here we go. Hello there, back. We definitely took a couple of days off from this because I needed to make sure my sprite animation videos get released on time. So that should be actually getting released in a couple of days. The horror one we're doing should be released by December 5th or probably December 10th. This one right here, we're gonna be done with the outline pretty soon. Like, there's not really much we need to talk about. That's still left over, but we'll get this released in a timely fashion. Like with Nasuverse stuff, I don't really have to worry about it. Like it doesn't have to be like a specific length. So if this is gonna be like a 12-minute video, I'm fine with it being a 12-minute video. So we talked about canonical events with Tatsuri. Let's talk about. I think we talked about the limitations briefly, but didn't write it down. So let's actually talk about the limits and I quote weaknesses of Tatsuri because that's actually really important. All right. So this is. Let's put this down a little bit. There we go. Unfortunately, everything is like copyrighted nowadays, so I mean, it is what it is. Okay, section. Section 6. Let's say weaknesses. We'll put that in parentheses. Not parentheses, in quotation marks. I'm bugging right now. Let's see. Okay. So their weaknesses, for starters, it really depends entirely on the rumor. Depends on the rumor. Tatsuri can't manifest. It's usually without widespread fear, though. Oh. Yeah, we'll say widespread. It has to be like really specific. So it's the collective. If the collective narrative weakens, then they just goes away. Or just can't take form. But like I said, I don't really need to go that crazy amount of detail. It's just this should be seen as just a basic introductory thing. I'm treating this like one of my Umineko videos, which I do have to do one eventually. So yeah, this will be just pretty much just a basic introductory thing. So, as you mentioned before, or I forget, you do need an anchor, which is pretty much like a caster or what have you. So, requires an anchor, which is usually Wallachia, or depending on the game, either Wallachia or Dust of Osiris. So, such as so about without an anchor, Katsuri just is not an active event. Long story short, don't live in that damn town. Because there's always some weird shit happening. Whoa. Okay. Alright. Well, the time, because it's only usually just one night. Yeah, it is one night. So short, fixed duration. So Tatari's existence is temporary and limited to one night. I haven't played Melty Blood in years. I take that back because I've done Melty Blood videos, but an actual like competition, hell no, I have not played that in years. But videos, yeah, I can still hang. I still have my Akia fight stick in the back over there. Yes, I have a PS2 Hori that has Akia on it. Yeah, I think it's lasted a long ass time. Um, Depends on the rumor. Tatsuri can't manifest without widespread fear, belief, or rumor. Again, we repeated that, but we gotta be specific. So if the collective narrative weakens, Tatsuri can't take form. So if the rumor weakens, or the belief, it doesn't take form. Requires an anchor to appear, such as Wachio and Dust of Osiris. Without an anchor, Tatsuri is not an active event. Short, fixed duration, Tatsuri's existence is temporary and limited to one night, most infamously the night of Wachio. I hear Wallachia just like laughing in my head right now. Okay. I don't really need to talk much about more about this, I think. I think hmm. Wait. I'm gonna be very specific with this, independently of its source. Okay. Should I word this? Tatsuri can't override. Tatsuri can't override. Yeah, can't override the content of the rumor driving it. I'll go into detail about this. Just give me a second to think. You can only really like manifest it. Yeah. Yeah. It only reflect it and materialize it. And as I mentioned before, we're gonna start wrapping this specifically up. Like we don't need to go that crazy because again, this is just basically an introductory thing. Probably like at least 10 minutes. Probably, maybe we'll see. So we'll do the narrative in a couple of days. Yeah, we'll wrap this up in a couple of days. We'll do the narrative. Then again, this should be out by middle of December, depending. So can't act independently of its source. Tatsuri can't override the concept of the rumor driving it. It can only reflect and materialize. So, using Nania as an example, it doesn't technically have a true like free will. Its actions are bound by the rumor. So if you have a killer that's going around just shanking people, it's Nania. Yeah, he's gonna fit that role that the rumor put on that the rumor is based on that he's based on. If that makes any sense. So using Nania as an example, he Tatari Nania. I gotta be very specific here. He is bound by the rumor that manifested him. By the shape of, yeah. He's bound by the shape of the human belief of the rumor. That just like blew my mind right there. So that totally butchered that spelling. All right, I hope that makes some sense there. So limits and weaknesses. Depends on the rumor. Tatsuri can't manifest without widespread fear, belief, or a rumor. So if the collective narrative weakens, Tatsuri can't take form. Requires an anchor to appear, such as Wallachia and Dust of Osiris. Without an anchor, Tatsuri is not an active event. Short fixed duration, Tatsuri's existence is temporary, limited to one night. Most infamously, the Night of Wallachia. Can't act independently of its source. Tatsuri can't override the concept of the rumor driving it. It can only reflect and materialize. So, using Tatsuri Nania as an example, he is bound by the shape of the human belief of the rumor. So if there's a rumor of a killer going around killing people with a knife, then he has to fulfill that role. What time is it? How long have we been this for? Damn. All right. Okay, I think it's good, but let's talk about why Tatsuri matters for Titan Moon, because again, a lot of people don't know it because a lot of people didn't play Melty Blood. So Melty Blood, again, is a spin-off of Tsukihime. A lot of people, it's funny. Some people think Titan Moon or Nasuverse, it's just fate. They forget about the other stuff. Give me a moment. There are times when my headset gets stuck over there. All right. Yeah, let's talk about why Tatsuri actually matters in the Nasuverse. I know someday I'm gonna probably have to talk about CL. I don't want to talk about CL because CL is she's a funny character. She's broken, but a very funny character. Well, first of all, it embodies human belief because it's literally based on a rumor. I think aloud, don't mind me. It embodies the weight of human belief. Instead of fear shaping reality, it's the perception shaping reality. Wow. Perception. Perception shapes reality. It shows. Tatsuri shows Tatari shows how shows how fears, stories, or just regular old yapping and stories in yeah, supernatural forces. Supernatural force when people just start spreading it. Because again, it's powered by rumors. Putting it on Rokenjima in the Gimeneko verse, good luck. There exists a world outside of Fate Stay Night. Look into the other things that type Moon and what else is in the Nasuverse. Give Ryobi some love. Alright. Massives. Oh my god. Um Speaking of shared by the masses, it shows how dangerous yapping goes, so explains the dangers of imagination. It's like a game of telephone. This Tatari, it weaponizes what the community believes. I can have compulsive tonight. To be true. Hmm. Explains the dangers of imagination. Tatari weaponizes what the community believes to be true. Depending on the scope of this, could have dramatic effects. For example, Wark is scary. Wark is very, very scary. Not the one in Lumina. Just the one in Lumina is funny. That's just Arcueid just mildly ticked off. But Wark and OG Melty Blood, oh my god. those red irises. No, those red eyeballs with the yellow irises. Damn. Good times with Wark. Yeah, the one in Lumina is just mildly ticked off. Okay. I think the big one here would be just how it connects everything. Because again, it's a spin-off. Connects major characters. From other works. Yeah, cross Melty Blood. I gotta be specific here because, like I mentioned before, that whole entire right side of the screen and actress again is Tatari, I guess? They could be. Well, Nero definitely. Roa definitely. Actress again, yeah. So Nero, Roa, Wallachia himself. Yeah, and a majority of, literally a majority of them, besides like CL, Ryogi's a guest character. Riza special. Yeah, like we have to be very, very specific here. Minus Ryogi Shiki. I cannot fucking spell. Minus Shiki. I'm gonna kill myself later. Don't kill yourself. I can't believe Solar Ryogi wrong, but it's been a long day. Give me 1 minute. Yeah, they're just putting Shiki wrong. Oh my god. That's embarrassing. I use Ryogi. And again, we have to be specific because again, Ryogi is she is a guest character. Ree's wife is a special case because she's not really. She's special. Nadia, yes. Vishion, sort of. Nadia and Shion are weird. Vishion are weird, but yes, we'll still say they are Tatari. They are Tatari. Coma could be a rumor because we don't know if that's actually regular old Coma who's there. So he could be a rumor. Wark, definitely Wark. Or yeah, Wark's another special case because Wark is special just because Wark is the representation of Arcueid just entirely pissed off, and also if she has like sucked blood, I guess if you want to be cute about it. There's a lot of background lore in regards to what happened when Arcueid actually had blood in her system. But Wark is a prime example of just Arcueid just being extremely ticked off. Nero, yes. Roa, yes. Wallachia, yes. Ironically, Len, no. Len's on the other side. White Len, yeah. White Len, no-ish. No. Alco, no. Definitely Alco, no. And Archetype Earth, definitely no. Archetype Earth's weird too. Play Melty Blood Actress again. It's a very funny game. Just play Melty Blood in general. It's a funny game. I can't believe I was about to play Spell Ryogi wrong. I used the damn character. Tsukihime characters. Like you mentioned before, play a pivotal role. Such as Tohno is literally just Tohno's at the point where he just is just overpowered and he knows it and he's just there just for the ride. Like he's Shion's backup. Literally Shion's backup. Sion, it should be noted, Arcueid too, but it's usually they're the power couple. Alco, as mentioned, Arcueid is literally just there for the ride. And I'm being very careful with pseudo antagonists because she really wasn't an antagonist. She was just like the final. She was the final boss in the previous versions. Yeah, Halko is the resident troll at times. Okay, how long did I stream this for? 25 minutes. Good. Okay. Why Tatari matters in the Nasuverse. Embodies the weight of human belief. Perception shapes reality. Tatari shows how rumors, fears, and stories gain supernatural force when shared by the masses. Explains the dangers of imagination. Tatari weaponizes what the community believes to be true. Depending on the scope of this could be dramatic. Could have a dramatic effect depending on the rumor. As I said, using Wark. Oh my god, Wark is terrifying. For example, a rumor based on Wark would be devastating. Connects major characters from other works in the Nasuverse together across Melty Blood, minus Ryogi, who is a guest character. The majority of the characters in Melty Blood actually are Tatari manifestations, which I've given an example of. Tsukihime characters play a pivotal role in the narrative, such as Tohno playing a supporting role to Sion. It should be known that Sion would have failed without Tohno's help, because again, he's literally backup. God, yeah, he's backup. Alco is there for the ride. Alco is there for the ride in the shadows. In the shadows. Her role as a pseudo antagonist is not present in Melty, but actions again. There are others. I'm using this up for my own notes. But yeah, we can go into detail how other people's roles in Melty Blood are, but I don't think we need to, because again, this is primarily just a Tatari thing. Yeah, we won't do that, but we'll see. Okay, good stuff. We did about 25 to 30 minutes before for work. I have to do my other project tomorrow, so today's Saturday, so Monday we'll carry on with this. All right, good stuff. I'll see people later.